Electricity. We depend on it for everything: our homes, our phones, our hospitals, even the internet you're using right now. But the system that delivers it, the power grid, is more fragile than most people realize. It's like an old heart trying to keep up with a world that never sleeps. And when it fails, the consequences can be devastating. So, what's really happening to our power grid? And why are experts warning it's running out of time? Let's find out. The beating heart of modern life. The power grid is a massive, interconnected system of wires, generators, and transformers. Think of it like a giant web stretching across entire countries. It starts at power plants: coal, natural gas, nuclear, or renewable sources like wind and solar, where electricity is created. From there, huge transmission lines carry that energy across long distances before it finally reaches homes, schools, and businesses. Transformers, those metal boxes on poles or behind buildings, make sure the voltage is just right so your electronics don't fry. Every time you charge your phone or open your fridge, this system quietly works behind the scenes. But there's one big problem. Most of it was built decades ago. And just like an old car trying to race on a modern highway, it's struggling to keep up. The grid is overloaded. Imagine the grid as a giant traffic system, and electricity as cars zooming down the lanes. When too many cars try to move at once, traffic jams form. That's what happens when power demand exceeds what the grid can safely deliver: an overload. The result? Dim lights, rolling brownouts, or even full-scale blackouts. In the United States, large blackouts have increased sharply over the past few decades. People are finding themselves without electricity for hours, or even days, more often. So why is this happening? Rising demand. The biggest reason is simple. We're using more electricity than ever before. Back in 1950, America used only a small fraction of today's power. Fast forward to 2023, and the country consumed around 4 trillion kilowatt hours, a staggering 14 times more than in the mid-20th century. Every home now has dozens of gadgets: smart fridges, gaming consoles, air conditioners, and electric cars all plugging in at once. Data centers, those giant facilities that power the internet, consume as much electricity as small cities. And they're multiplying fast. Experts say the U.S. will need 128 gigawatts more capacity by 2029 just to keep up. So, while technology makes life easier, it's also pushing the grid harder than ever before. Aging infrastructure. The second major issue? Age. Much of the power grid is over 50 years old. That means wires, towers, and transformers are wearing out, just like old plumbing that starts leaking. In fact, one of the most infamous blackouts in history happened in 2003 because of a single tree branch in Ohio. It brushed against a sagging power line, setting off a chain reaction that cut electricity to over 50 million people across the U.S. and Canada. Businesses shut down, subways stopped, food spoiled, and the economy lost billions. If one tree can cause chaos for 50 million people, imagine what happens when multiple parts fail at once. The weather factor. Our weather is becoming more extreme. Heat waves, freezing storms, hurricanes, wildfires, and the grid wasn't built for it. When temperatures soar, millions turn on their air conditioners at the same time, spiking demand. In winter, heaters do the same. The grid strains, and sometimes it snaps. In 2023 alone, most major power outages in the U.S. were caused by severe weather. Hospitals lost power, schools shut down, and first responders struggled to operate. And as climate change worsens, these disasters are only expected to increase, pushing the grid to its breaking point. The renewable energy puzzle. Now, here's a twist. Even clean energy can cause problems. Solar panels and wind turbines are amazing for the planet, but they're unpredictable. The sun doesn't shine at night and wind doesn't always blow. That means sometimes there's too little power and other times there's too much. When renewables flood the grid with extra electricity, it can make frequencies unstable. In extreme cases, it forces shutdowns to protect equipment. Believe it or not, There are moments when energy prices go negative. Power producers actually pay to offload electricity they can't use. Without enough storage, like large-scale batteries or pumped hydro plants, this excess energy is wasted, while the grid strains to stay balanced. Transitioning to green energy is crucial, but it requires smarter systems to manage the flow. Unexpected villains. And yes, you heard that right, squirrels are part of the problem. These furry little creatures chew through wires or bridge connections, causing shorts that trigger outages. Birds and snakes do it too. In fact, animal-related blackouts are surprisingly common. A database has recorded over 10,000 such incidents since 2013. It sounds funny, until it happens to you mid-homework or during a Zoom call. Sometimes the smallest culprits cause the biggest headaches. The real-world consequences. When the grid fails, life stops. No lights, no water pumps, no charging. Businesses lose thousands per hour. Hospitals switch to emergency generators, but even those aren't perfect. Take Puerto Rico in 2022. A fire at one power plant caused an island-wide blackout. Millions were left in the dark, without elevators, refrigeration, or medical devices. The outage even stranded people in hospitals who relied on life support machines. Every year, power outages cost the U.S. economy up to $150 billion in lost productivity, spoiled goods, and damaged equipment. But beyond money, the real cost is human: disruption, discomfort, and sometimes danger. The future risk. Experts are sounding the alarm. The Department of Energy warns that if current trends continue, blackouts could increase 100 times by 2030. The reasons? Aging plants are closing faster than new ones are built, and modern technologies like electric vehicles and data centers are skyrocketing in demand. For example, data centers might consume 300 terawatt-hours by 2025, more than some entire countries. And if 80% of cars go electric, even a modest 10 to 15% rise in demand will still require massive grid upgrades to handle peak charging hours. It's a growing storm, a perfect mix of old systems, new pressures, and unpredictable weather. The solutions. But it's not all bad news. There's real hope if we act fast. Number 1. Modernize the grid. New smart technologies can detect problems instantly and reroute electricity automatically, preventing large-scale failures. These self-healing systems act like a nervous system for the grid, sensing damage and adjusting in real time. Number 2. Grid-enhancing tools. By adding smart sensors to existing lines, we can increase their capacity by up to 30% without rebuilding from scratch. That's cheaper, faster, and incredibly effective. Number 3. Build more transmission lines. Much of our renewable energy, like wind from the plains or solar from the desert, never reaches cities because we lack enough transmission lines. It's like having food in one room but no door to the kitchen. Experts say the U.S. needs to double its transmission capacity by 2035 to meet future demand. Number 4. Invest in energy storage. Batteries are the key. Massive energy storage facilities can hold extra power from renewables and release it when needed. California alone is adding gigawatts of battery storage every year, helping stabilize its grid during peak hours. Number 5. Improve efficiency. We can also use power smarter. LED bulbs, efficient appliances, and better insulation all reduce strain on the system. Some programs even reward users for charging EVs at night or letting their car batteries send power back to the grid during high demand, turning vehicles into mini power plants. Well, that's it for today's video. If this sparked your curiosity, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more eye-opening facts, and share this video to keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching.